Would you please welcome from Hertfordshire, Hemel School.
Number 15 and captain, Brian Balser. Balser, assistant coach Mick Hall. Today's officials, referee Richard Stokes, umpire Rick Hines, and our table officials Barry Mann, Pete Brown, Jan Kirk, and Alex Morrissey.
spectators stay off the court, please, at the end of the game. Thank you.
gentlemen, players, and a grand crowd of spectators, I think you'll all agree this has been yet another grand presentation finals day at Bricket Wood. I would like to pay tribute, as has already been done, to English School Competition Secretary Mr. Martin Moon, who of course is our competition secretary for all events other than those which take place here. You see him today at what is almost the end of our season, a long, hard, but for all his efforts, a very successful season. So on behalf of English Schools Basketball Association, thank you Martin as our competition secretary. This event here has, of course, had to be organised by some of the local. Since you have been making so many presentations to other people, take this opportunity to present you with a first of all to the officials. Referee Richard Stokes, this all. And now to the 1992 winners of the Outdoors Trophy. Number 4, Steve Weston. Number 5, Daniel Thomas. Number 6, Danny Wick. Number 7, Barry Gooch. Number 8, Chris Townsend. Number 9, Simon Banks. Number 10, Steve Haynes. Number 11, Ivan Ulrich. Gary Salmon. Number 40, Martin Noblik. And their coach, Derek Balser. And assistant coach, Mick Hall.
And here we start the county under-19 finals for the boys. Hillside are in red and Hemel are in blue. Here we go, the opening tip. Hillside start off with possession with Bryan. Over to Gary Southern, who makes a little move with left hand and misses. Ivan gets the rebound, but misses a shot, but it's fouled. Starting five for Hillside, Barry, Gary Southern, Ivan Novcic, Bryan and Martin Noblet. Nice pass under, but Noblet misses his shot. And that's Tim with a rebound. Shot over Mark Swales is blocked by Bryan. Back out to Kevin, who tries a three-pointer, but it's missed. And Hemel get the rebound again. Out to Mark Swales with another jump shot. They miss, and Martin Noblet gets the rebound. Out to Barry, who drives past and is fouled by Kevin. Starting fives for Hemel, Kevin, Simon Plunk, Mark Swales, Giles Berry and Tim Osborne-Jones. So Barry's got the ball out of bounds, comes into Ivan. Gives it back out to Ivan. He's going to look to penetrate here. Little move, and it's called for a travelling violation. Here we go, here comes Kevin for Hemel, bring the ball down. Looks like Hillside are in a 2-1-2 zone there. A little deflection there by Ivan, but Hemel get the ball back. Out to Giles, who gives it up to Kevin, back to Giles, who goes in and scores. 2-0 to Hemel. Ivan a nice drive, misses his shot, and will get the rebound. Out to Simon Plunk, who's fouled by Bryan. Time out there called by Hemel, coach Graham Cracknell. His coach Balser in the time out there. Here we go with Simon Plunk on the free throw line, shooting for two. Misses the first one. And misses the second, and a rebound by Bryan. Ivan gets in his way there, pulls up from the free throw line. Oh, backwind it off the ring. Out to Kevin, who drives and scores a nice running jump shot. And here we go, Hillside all the way on Zach, and nice pass in there, resulting in a layup for Hillside. First 2 points for Hillside. 6-2 the score is. Drive by Giles Berry, Barry gets his hand in there, steals the ball. And Kevin with another 2 points. Barry drive seems to be tripped over there. A nice steal by Ivan, who puts it back in. 8-4 to Hemel. Good start here by Hemel. Out to Mark Swales, down to Giles Berry. Into Tim, who's fouled by Gary over the back here. Gary Southern wearing number 13 for Hillside. There's a foul there by Martin Noblet. It's his first foul. Hillside's 13th foul. So he comes into Giles Berry. Little jump shot is good. 10-4 to Hemel. Ivan with a nice move. Oh, he gets called for a charge there, but his basket's good, so it's 6-10 to Hemel. And that's Ivan's first foul. So Hemel bring it in bounds, and that's Kevin bringing it down for Hemel. Good D there played by Ivan. Comes out to Mark Swells. Back out to Kevin. Over to Mark Swells, pulls up for a little jump shot and misses. Rebound by Bryan there again. It looks to be penetrating a bit more. Oh, and just misses the layup. Nice. Should have made that. Good defense there by Barry. Caused Tim to miss the shot, but Kevin gets the tip in. 12-6. Oh, Barry misses the layup there. But rebound comes out and Hemel get the out of bounds ball. Hemel bring the ball down. This is Kevin playing a bit point guard. All travel there by Simon. Referee seems to be having a word there with Graham Cracknell about one of his players on the bench. Bit of abusive language, no doubt, from one of the Hemel players there. Looks like he's having a word with him. It's Ivan at top of the key, dishes it off to Bryan. He goes round, you can't see what's happening here, can work, but obviously he's missed the shot. Nice steal back there by Barry. Over to Bryan, nice pass there and scores 2 points. 8-12 to Hemel. Oh, there's a foul on Ivan, that's Ivan's second foul. Bit of a poor call there by the ref. Not really a foul, I mean Ivan was playing a bit of good defence and Giles charged into him really. Ivan gets called for a kicking violation. And Mark Swells at the point there, drives to the free throw line, gets a shot blocked and rebound by Bryan. Nice pass out to Ivan there, who misses his layup. Which cost us just 2 points, really. Another missed layup there by Barry, that's 2 in a row we've missed. Pull up jump shot for Kevin. Miss, nice, unlucky Gary, nice rebound there, but 14-8 the score is. Ivan a nice jig one way and goes in with a nice hook shot. 16-10 the score is now to Hemel. Three-point shot by Mark Swells, misses, but Giles gets the rebound, puts it in. 18-10. Barry drew, nice play there by Barry, drew the foul off Tim. Tim's a bit slow, can't get out of the way, so Barry made him foul him.
Is it 16-10 the score?
Stand correct, the score is 16-10 to Hemel. There's Barry on the free throw line for 2 shots. So Barry for the first attempt at free throws. Nice shot there, swish by Barry. 11-16 to Hemel. 12-16. Out to Mark Swells on the corner. Back to Kevin at the top. Oh, nice hands there by Giles. by Ivan, up to Barry, who scores a left-handed layup. That time we've got a layup there. 14-16 to Hemel. Closing the gap, with only 2 points. Drive by Mark Swells, puts a shot up. Nice rebound by Gary. Gives it out to Brian. He passes it up to Ivan. Ivan with some sort of tip shot there. I'm not sure whether that is the appropriate shot at that time. Bit of a crap shot really. Cost us 2 points down at the other end with Kevin. 18-14 to Hemel. Ivan there has been called for a carry, I think, so Hemel will get the ball back, leading 18-14. That's a timeout called there by Coach Balser. Also have a word with Ivan after that atrocious shot. A comment there by Derek Balser, the shot is not good. There was nobody on him really, he just turned around and shot a layup. I don't know what he's trying to do, some circus shot. Good crowd here at St Columbus College. Most of Hillside supporters at the end there. So Mark Swells brings the ball down. It looks like they switched Mark to the point guard and put Kevin out on the wing. Shot from the corner, misses. Giles gets the offensive rebound, goes up, gets a shot blocked, but Timms gets the rebound. And Bryan passes it into Barry there. Barry digs up court. Stops, gives it off to Bryan and makes a nice crossover move, fake, draws a foul and scores. Nice 3-point opportunity here for Bryan for making his free throw. Foul on Kevin. That's his second foul there. And they have one shot for a 3-point play. He misses his free throw there and goes off the leg of Mark Swell, so Hillside will get the ball back. Looks like Mike McCree's getting set to come into the game. Out to Ivan, who makes a nice scoop move there. Scores. Score is now 18-all. 18-all, and that's Kevin with the ball. Across to Mark Swells, who drives baseline and misses his layup. Another rebound there by Bryan, who pushes it down quickly, and Ivan seems to drop the pass there. Nice pass, but Ivan seems to drop it. We've had 2 points really if we'd have caught that. Gets his hand in that pass. Mark Swells makes another drive on the baseline, but loses the ball out of bounds, so Hillside get the ball back. An opportunity to take the lead here for the first time in the game. Oh, the score is not 18-all, it's 20-18 to Hemel. So Hillside a chance to level the game up. Barry, a nice scoop move there, levels the game up. Split two defenders and scored. So it looks like Chris Townsend's into the game. He's playing good defence up top. Hillside are still in a 2-1-2 defence. Ivan seems to be taken off. No, he's not. He's at the back there. Martin Nobbitt's been taken off. Martin McCree's come on and Chris Townsend. And Simon Punk travels, which gives the ball back to Hillside. Here's Ivan bringing the ball down, being guarded by Giles. Pull up shot by Ivan, misses, and Hemel get the rebound. Oh, nice strip there by Barry Gooch. He passes it over to Ivan, who scores the layup. Nice strip there by Barry. A nice pass to make a layup. Score is now 22-20 to Hillside. They've taken the lead for the first time in the game. Shot from the corner by Mark Swells levels the game up at 22 apiece. Pass over to Chris. He passed it into Ivan. Nice pass there, but Ivan gets called for a 3-second call. Ivan not playing his usual game here. Seems to be a bit of a daze. Back to his old ways, if you ask me. Looks like Hemel called another timeout. So Hemel have the ball and they're bringing it down here. There's Barry and Chris Town. It looks like Hillside have gone to a man-to-man defence. Ivan Gamble's on D. And the ball goes out of bounds to Hillside. So Hillside have changed to a man-to-man defence here. Barry gives it up to Ivan, who brings it down. He pulls up for a jump shot, misses, and Hemel get the rebound. Ivan doesn't seem to be playing very well here, keeps missing a few shots. Over to Giles Berry, makes a move, or got away with a little charge there, but and that's Tim Osborne-Jones over the back, and he picks up his second foul. Nice box out there by Max, causes Tim to come over the back and gets a foul. So here comes Barry, he gives it up to Bryan, he makes a move to the left, pulls up for a nice jump shot and makes it. 24-22 to Hillside, taking the lead. 2-point lead there for Hillside. In a man-to-man defence, Bryan's marking Giles. Giles makes a nice move there and scores. Bryan can't do much, he don't really pick up fouls, so he wants to stay in the game. 24 all. Ivan makes another spin move but misses. Again, Bryan gets a rebound, misses his first shot, gets another rebound. Nice strong there play by Bryan, gets a rebound and puts it back in again. 26-24 to Hillside. Simon Plum goes straight past Ivan, he went for a nice rebound by Max. And Ivan loses the ball again. Nice hands there by Chris Townsend, gets back on D. Good defensive players, Chris. Works hard. So we have a jump ball situation here between Chris Townsend and Simon Plunk. Looks like Gary Southern's coming to check back into the game. Number 13. Comes on for Ivan. So jump ball here between Chris and Simon. And the ball goes out to Giles. He stops at the free throw line, gives it up to Tim with a nice shot off the backboard. And here's Barry, bringing the ball down court. Oh, nice moves again there by Barry, straight to the hoop, went past 5 players and scored, split Tim and Giles, and they didn't know what to do. So it looks like Kevin's bringing it down. Oh, nice steal there by Bryan, gets his hand in, goes past Mark and past Kevin for a layup. 30-24 there to 30-26, sorry, to Hillside. 4-point lead. It's quickly down to a 2-point lead. 28-30 to Hillside. Barry for a pull-up jump shot. Sits in front of the ring. Max gets a nice rebound there. Strong play, Max. Out to Barry. Bryan shoots a 3-pointer and misses it. Up to Giles. Giles seems to throw it out of bounds there. Misjudged how tall Kevin was. Good defence played by Barry there, caused him to throw it out of bounds. Nice pass. Gives that to Bryan. He goes through two defenders but gets a little bump but misses. Barry gets back on D again. Nice defence there by Barry. Standing straight. But then get called for a foul. Bryan gives it up to Bryan. Bryan goes in. Scores. Oh, he's been called for a charge. That is no way a charge. That's a poor call by the referee. Coach Balser doesn't seem very pleased with that call. Tim seemed to move while Bryan was in the air, so the basket's good, so that's Bryan's second foul. Don't really want to pick up any more. So end-line ball to Hemel. 32-28 to Hillside. Up by 4 as Kevin brings it down. Still in a man-to-man defence here. Good defence played by Gary there. Mark Swells goes baseline, goes past Chris and scores a layup. And it's with Barry here. Barry's slowing the play down a bit. Gives it up to Gary. Gary makes a nice left-hand middle, gets bumped and misses his left-hand layup. Max with a strong rebound but loses it to Mark. Looks like Hillside have gone back to a 2-1-2 defence. And Tim scores again on the inside. That's 32 all. There's a turnover there and then we'll get the ball back. Now they've changed back to a 2-1-2 defence. Tim goes in and gets a nice shot from the corner there. Bryan from the corner pulls out, a bit short on that jump shot. Seems to be starting off pretty slow. Barry, nice defence, gets his hand on the D, and again gets his hand on the defence, gets the ball back for Hillside. He crosses over, goes past Mark with ease and scores a layup. 34-32. There's a foul there by Chris Townsend. Comes out to Mark, into Tim, on high post. Not many moves there by Tim from the high post. The three-point shot is an air ball. Gary with a nice rebound, gives it out to Bryan. He's looking to get into the game a bit more, goes past all of their players and lays it up with the right hand. 36-32 to Hillside. This is better play from Hillside. Struggled at start, but now got back into the act. Nice cut there by Tim, he scores 2 more points, 34-36. Here's Barry, spins, goes in the middle. Oh, what a shot there by Barry Gooch. I mean, it's just skill really. Brings it in and then tosses it over his head and in the basket. I mean, I can't describe that as a move if you ask me. It's just safe. So here it is with Mark. Brings it over to Simon, who goes in, gives it up, loses it. Gary gets the ball, loose ball, out to Bryan. And here we go. And now Bryan, oh, nice scoop there, splits the 2 defenders for 2 more points. 40-34 to Hillside. Margin is 6. Kevin with a little penetrating move there. Gives it up to Simon, over to Giles. Oh, see that Bryan blocks his shot there. But the ball goes out of bounds, and it's Hillside ball, and that's a timeout called by the Hillside bench. 34-40 to Hillside. Sorry, 36-40 to Hillside, a 4-point lead. And looks like Ivan Novcic is checking back into the game. So the lineup for Hillside is Gary Southern, Brian Balser, Ivan Novcic, Chris Townsend and Barry Gooch. And I'll have the 5 for Hemel as soon as they appear on the court. Kevin, Giles Berry, Mark Swale, Simon Plunk and Tim Osborne Jones. That's the 5. Passing it to Barry, who stops at the free throw line. Gives a little jig to Simon, who seems to just be lost by that move there by Barry. Here goes Bryan, gives a little bump off Mark, but still controls the ball. Makes a nice move around the houses to make that shot there. 42-36 to Hillside. Kevin goes in there, misses his shot. Unlucky there by Gary, just got his hand to it but went out of bounds, so Hemel will get the ball back. So it comes out to Kevin. There's Chris playing some good defence again. He's always working as Chris. Defence. Passing to Giles, who takes a little short. Tim gets a rebound there. Ivan didn't box him out. I mean, that is Ivan's responsibility on that side of the court. Didn't box him out and he got the rebound. 38-42. Hillside, nice assist there by Ivan. Gives it over to Gary and Gary scores his first shot of the game. 44-38 to Hillside. Back into Giles. Oh, Chris comes over the back, a bit anxious there to get the ball. And that's Chris's second foul. Little comment there by the bench from Coach Balser. Get those rebounds. Get off the floor. So there's 2 shots here. 1-on-1 for Giles Berry. He banks his first shot in. More by luck than judgment on that first shot there. I don't think Giles has perfected their art of banking free throws just yet. Here he goes for his second attempt. Misses it and Gary gets a nice rebound and gives it out to Barry. He doesn't waste any time getting down the court. Makes it left to right. Nice move. Oh, just rolled off the ring. Nice move there. Left to right but couldn't finish the play. Mark Swales for a little jump shot. Air ball. It goes off Kevin for out of bounds. Back to Hillside. 39-44 to Hillside, and here's Ivan Novcic. He's got away with a little shuffle with his feet, but misses his shot. Over to Mark Swales. Back over to Giles. Surrounded there by 3 Hillside players. Good defence here played by Hillside. Kevin shoots another 3, and that's a brick off the backboard there. Nice drive by Simon Plunk. About one of the only moves he's made without travelling. Gives it up to Ivan. Ivan makes another drive and another assist to Gary, who makes another shot. 46-39 to Hillside. Ivan gambled there to steal the pass, but Simon went in. It seems that number 14 Simon has been called for a charge. When Bryan just got out of the way, moved his arms out of the way. Bit of a dubious call there, but I think the Hillside rode that one for the charge that was called on Bryan, so that sort of about evens it up really. So basket doesn't count, and here's Ivan, dishes it off to Gary. Shows tries a turnaround jump shot, but offensive rebound by Bryan, sticks it back in. That's 48-39 to Hillside. 9-point lead for Hillside here. Mark Swales drives baseline and shoots, but misses. Gary gets a nice rebound again, and off goes Barry. Gives it up to Ivan. I would have had a slack pass over his head there. Should have shot it really. But it's not Chris's fault. I mean, he wasn't expecting the ball to come to him. And there's roughly 15 seconds left on the clock. So it looks like Hemel will play for the last shot of the half. Looks like they're going to eat the clock up first and then take one final shot. And that'll give Hillside another shot. Kevin tries a three but misses, so we finished the half there with a score 41-48 to Hillside, a nice 7-point lead. And here we start the second half. So Chris Townsend starting the second half there with Brian, Barry, Gary and Ivan. Kevin, Simon, Giles and Tim.
Season, connecting for his second field goal, and Chicago leads by 7.
A guy who's really raised his game a level, a guy who you used to back off, give him the open shot. He just seems so much more comfortable now shooting the open jumper.
Anderson had the lane closed by Pippen. Pippen's done a good job on Anderson. Here's Green. Yes. Oh, Ricky Green with an extraordinary shot. And the Bulls now lead 21-16.
Sixers making a couple shots that, thank goodness for them, they're going in right now, but don't rely on those all night.
And Jordan rejected by Gilliam. Hawkins off the outlet from Bull. Nice lead pass for Anderson. And the 76ers are within 3 points.
Those are the ones that Jimmy Lynam wants him to take. The opportunity fast break. When you have numbers 3-on-1, you take advantage of it. If not, run the half-court offense, be patient.
Sixers in the midst of a 10-3 run. Paxson again with the room. That's a three-pointer. John Paxson providing Chicago with a 6-point lead. Here's Anderson. He's been off in this first quarter on Anderson. And the starting lineup. Kenny Payne started against Indiana on Wednesday. But he's sitting it out as Scottie Pippen is able to connect. Payne out with a sprained left ankle, suffered in practice on Friday. So here he has a chance to get some playing time, and it's a tough break for the second-year player, Kenny Payne. 22nd timeout has been called.
Jordan making his one-on-one move, loves to come back up on the other side to use the rim. 76ers were waiting for him right there. They had him closed off from both sides. On the break, 3-on-1, they got the numbers. Anderson finishes off. Nice decision by the man with the ball.
Stand by for Motorsport in Go at 8. Screen Sport. More sport, more choice.
Miller Genuine Draft presents #1 draft choices.
And today's Miller #1 draft pick, 76er forward Armin Gilliam. He was the second pick overall back in 1987 by the Phoenix Suns after the Spurs selection of David Robinson. Gilliam traded earlier this year to the Sixers from Charlotte for Mike Jaminski. Actually, since the deal, it has not gone the way the 76ers would have liked. They were 19-11 before Jaminski was traded. And with Gilliam on hand, they're 22 up, 22 down. But there have been a couple of occasions where Charles Barkley has been out of the lineup, and that certainly has something to do with it. Hawkins off a nice feed from Bull.
That's one of the things that Jimmy Lynam spoke to us about yesterday. We're going to put the ball in Bull's hands down low a little more often, and you're going to be surprised what a good passer he is.
Jordan, met by Bull, changed his mind. Pippen. Well, he tried to force the issue.
One of the things when you play against Manute Bol, you must remind your team, don't make it a personal challenge. Settle for good shots. Be smart. Use your head. The 8-foot jumper might be the best decision.
And Manute on the rebound gets it out. Hawkins bottled up. He's tied up. Jim Lynam was telling us that Manute can throw an entire game out of whack. He can also throw his own team out of whack at the offensive end.
Well, it's a tough decision because you know that he can do things like this, block shots and change the tempo for his team, get some fast breaks, reduce the field goal percentage of the other team. But at the same time, what do you do with them offensively? Do you stand them outside all the time or do you get them involved? He says, Jimmy, just let me touch the ball once in a while.
Was that the way he said it?
Yeah, exactly.
Manute, born and raised in the Sudan, he was a Dinka tribesman. You know, he once killed a lion with a spear. It should be pointed out the lion was asleep at the time. Here's King. And Manute Bol making his presence felt here in the first quarter. Just under 1 minute remaining. Bulls by 6. Hawkins beat Jordan and then was stripped. Andre Turner now in the backcourt, along with Percy Hawkins, Rod Anderson, Jason Williams, and Manute Bol up front. Jason Williams got a start against Indiana. Played well on Wednesday night on that surprising victory by the 76ers at Market Square. Hawkins, well, he's being played by Pippen and was able to hit off the head fake.
That time what happened by setting screens, they forced the switch. Pippen wound up on him. Hawkins made a nice little one-on-one move.
Jordan going left, met by Bol and had his shot deflected.
One of the things, you don't realize how much ground he covers. He gets that long arm up, gets a piece of the shot against one of the best.
Williams gets in. Rebounded by King. We're down to 15 seconds to go. First quarter. And the Bulls will hold for a final shot. B.J. Armstrong, who just checked in, nursing the clock. Down to 5 seconds. Here's Jordan off a double team. Pippen. Yes. 0.2 of a second remaining in the quarter. Bol fires down, and Anderson, well, he took the step, and it cost him. So that's the end of one. It's the Bulls 28, the 76ers 22. Manute Bol came in and did a good job. 2 blocks, 4 rebounds. At 7'7", 225 pounds, wherever he plays, he is a curiosity to fans. I asked him, how is he affected by that?
Sometimes you can go somewhere and some people would be booing you and some people would cheer for you. It makes you feel like you're playing home. But, you know, with somebody cheering for you, they want, you know, when I came out in college, I don't think anybody think that I was going to be in the NBA for this 6 years anyway, because everybody thought that I'm too skinny. I cannot play Morrison, Malone, and Akeem. And I've been in the league for 6 years, so everybody, you know, all the fans in the country wasn't seeing me doing good.
What a delightful guy he is. We spent time with Manute last night. How about this quote from Woody Allen? He's so skinny. Talking of Manute, he doesn't travel with the team anymore. They just fax him from city to city.
I'd say they have 2 unique personalities on the same team, Barkley and Bol.
Crowd reacted off the block by Purdue. Well, Rod Anderson now 3 for 6. He has 6 and gets the second quarter going, bringing Philadelphia within 4. B.J. Armstrong now in the backcourt with Craig Hodges, who's replaced Michael Jordan, Will Perdue, Scottie Pippen, Stacey King up front. Pippen try to save it. It will be Sixer ball. Well, Phil Jackson giving the playing time to Stacey King. He's trying to get the second-year player's confidence back.
I think it's very important of Phil to show him, look, I'm on your side. We're in your corner. This team is ready to move on. They understand that you made a mistake. We just got to get the crowd back on our side again.
Stacey, a #1 draft pick out of Oklahoma a year ago. Here's Williams. And Pippen on the rebound. The lead pass broken up. Armstrong. Purdue comes away with it. Crowd liked the dribble action by Will. Stacey King. And he now now hears the cheers from this Chicago Stadium crowd.
And that was the toughest shot because he shot it over Bowl, who was rotating over.
And Purdue fires down. Here's Hodges. Bulls lead at 32-24.
Chicago likes to leak a player out, meaning when the shot goes up, send somebody long, look down the floor for the easy score.
Help from Hodges. And Anderson called for the offensive foul.
That was a tough one right there. Anderson wasn't really moving that hard to the baseline. Pippen got in front with his feet, but did a pretty good job of acting on it.
2 minutes in. Second quarter. Marv Albert, Mike Fratello, Steve Jones from the Windy City on a beautiful day here in Chicago. Temperature in the high 70s. Turner with the save. Oh, Manute goes between the legs. What a showman. The man is incredible, Mike.
Well, Manute wants to show us his total game. He showed us that he's a passer. He showed us that he's a shot blocker. He's given us a little bit of his total package. Now remember, the Bulls like to hang in and cause problems to slow up your fast break. Manute saves it and then says, it's showtime for me, folks.
The foul was called on B.J. Armstrong. We'll be back in a moment. Reminder, next Saturday, tune in to your local NBC station for another edition of Inside Stuff. You'll take a look back at the high school stardom of J.R. Reed of Charlotte, plus a feature on Golden State's All-Star Chris Mullin. Ahmad Rashad, Julie Moran, next Saturday on NBC for NBA Inside Stuff. Manute Bol taking over this ball game. Bulls now lead 32-26, 2.5 gone by in the second quarter. Hodges, off-balance shot by Greg Hodges, who had a good one here Friday in that Chicago rally as they came from 21 back against the San Antonio Spurs, but then fell short. Jason Williams. Here's Ron Anderson. 7 on the 24. Pippen with the steal. Armstrong called for the travel. Good play by Andre Turner.
Take a look here. It looks like they're going to set a double screen right here for the shooter coming off, but instead, watch along the baseline. A little sneaky back pick for the lob pass to Manute Bol. The Sixers want to set him up for a lob every now and then. There's the back pick. Here's the lob on time.
Gilliam. And back comes Armstrong, putting the speed on. E.J. Armstrong has had an outstanding second season. A #1 draft pick last year out of Iowa. Good pressure by the Bulls and a tie-up.
You've got to be very careful here if you're Jim Lynam. You've got to use your timeouts wisely. Games open up quickly with the Chicago Bulls because of their pressure defense. They force a lot of turnovers. There's the double team right there. Good hands in there forcing the jump ball. Remember, this team has won 41 games by 10 points or more. They have a habit of blowing people out.
Yeah, they have been the kings of the blowouts. Bulls also have gone more to pressure in recent weeks. Phil Jackson mentioning yesterday at practice that he also likes to use what he calls escort pressure. Phil coining a new phrase that's pressure on the man bringing the ball up. Escort pressure.
Well, escort pressure is early in the game, just kind of a token man-for-man, not really going after it. But this afternoon, after that first free throw, it was no escort pressure. It was all-out pressure. Go get the basketball, and they forced an early turnover.
Brian Oliver checks in for the first time. Hersey Hawkins departs with 6 points. Well, the Bulls at 55-19, and you can see they have done it in a number of categories. #2 overall in shooting, a shade behind the Boston Celtics in field goal percentage. Manute with the hook or fling. Armstrong loose ball foul called. It's on the Bulls. It's on Purdue.
The first thing Bol does is look for his cutters, trying to hit an open teammate. When he realizes the clock is down, he knows he's got to initiate the offense and get one up there. I would say it was kind of a fling.
Manute says that he's not looking to shoot the three-pointers as he was encouraged to do so in Oakland with Don Nelson looking to get him into the game. I don't think Jim Lynam had the same philosophy when it came to telling Manute to shoot from three-point land.
You know, he acted like it wasn't important to him anymore to shoot threes, but immediately he said, I am 1 for 14 this season.
Armstrong off the steal. DJ Armstrong. Bulls lead 38-26. They made a change on that last foul call. It's been charged to Horace Grant rather than Will Purdue, so Grant replaced by Cliff Livingston. Oliver setting it against Hodges. Brian Oliver, the rookie from Georgia Tech, with the spin. Nice setup. Jason Williams. And Manute called for the offensive interference.
You're not allowed to touch the ball when it's in contact with the rim. Jess Kersey blows the whistle. Here it is, just kind of sitting up there. I don't think there's any question about this one. Manute just says, wait a minute, I can just stand there and reach that one.
That's a situation where I'm wondering if he knew the rule or the interpretation, because he went for it, and you got to just let it lay there.
Manute said that wasn't the rim, that was the flange, the back.
Screen Sport. More sport, more choice.
You are aware that Charles Barkley and Rick Mahorn do have a twisted sense of humor, so both jumped at the chance to co-host a segment of a syndicated blooper show, seeing an opportunity to pull a prank on their favorite target, Manute Bol. Now check this out.
Well, you got some hot dogs you doing?
Right there. Little rice.
Charles bowling dish.
Right there's a little peas and onions. And right there.
That was Rick Mahorn. You guys scared me, man.
Oh, that Manute. They got him.
Charles told us that Manute was really affected by that for a while after it happened.
Well, the Bulls with a 10-4 run here in the second quarter, and they have their biggest lead of the game. Michael Jordan has returned. Jordan and Hodges at the guards with Pippen, Purdue, and Livingston up front. Here is Pippen. Bol got a piece of it. And the foul call against the 76ers, a loose ball affair. It is on Gilliam. That's his first.
Jim Lynam complaining that one of the players, it was Purdue, was hanging on the rim and that they should lose possession.
Phil Jackson going with his bench for a long period of this second quarter. Jordan changed his shot as he saw the pursuit of Bol. And it's called on Bol.
And Jordan gets a little chuckle out of it. He gets Manute to come out, but he knows he's chasing him from behind, so switches over to his left hand to try and avoid Manute's arm. He knows Manute's behind him. Let me get it over here with my left to get it out of the way of Manute.
Michael Jordan, 86% free throw shooter. Bol sitting down after picking up that foul. Rick Mahorn is back. Well, Michael Jordan missing once again from the line. He is 1 for 3 from the foul line. He comes in averaging 31.2 per game to lead the NBA, and he's been shooting well recently. Last 3 games, 55%. Again, the Bulls go to the trap. And Andre Turner able to weave his way through. Here's Anderson, rejected by Pippen.
That's exactly what you're trying to get. Make him come to the rim, get a shot blocker in there.
Craig Hodges for 3. Now they say it's a 2. (41-26) Chicago. Mahorn. Gilliam on the tip.
76ers may have to change and go to their half-court trap, bring Bowl back in, go to the half-court trap, try to generate some offense through their defense, because right now it almost looks as if the Bulls are toying with the 76ers out there.
Bulls here at home at 132, lost only 5. At one point, they had reeled off 26 in a row at Chicago Stadium, a streak that was stopped by Houston. They have lost 2 of their last 3 at home. Brian Oliver called for the foul, and once again, Michael Jordan to the foul line.
And you saw Jimmy Lynam holding up 2 hands when he was talking to Jess Kersey. They're having a little discussion right now. What Jimmy's saying is, I know you read the newspaper today, just like I did, where they were complaining that Jordan was not getting to the free throw line enough times.
However, unusually, Michael has been off the mark. He's 2 out of 5 from the line. Jim Lynam, in his 3rd year as coach of the Sixers, spent 2 difficult seasons as head man of the LA Clippers, following 10 years in the college ranks at Fairfield American, St. Joseph, Philly. Played at St. Joseph's under Jack Ramsey in the early 60s. And Jess Kersey with the call on Cliff Levingston.
Just still looking over at Jim Lynam. He didn't like the comment about reading the newspaper.
It was banner headlines in one of the Chicago papers today. The Bulls complaining that Michael Jordan has not been going to the line frequently enough. Rick Mahorn was hacked. And the 76ers to the line for the first time today.
Mahorn and Jordan trying to come from behind. There's the contact. They get their first opportunities, and there's reasons for it. Without Barkley in the game, the guy who basically takes people off the dribble, creates the double team, and then can hit his open teammates, they don't have a lot of one-on-one guys facing the basket that can put it on the floor, the 76ers.
Rick Mahorn, a 79% free throw shooter. Scottie Pippen sitting down. 8 points for Scottie. John Paxson is back. Bulls 41, 76ers 29. Just under 5 minutes to go in this first half. Jordan now played by Anderson.
This is the set they used against Boston to bring them back into the game. Jordan in the middle misses the easy layup. They spread the floor, get their 3-point shooters deep, and go for 3s.
Mahorn fouled by Purdue. That is the second committed by Will Purdue.
Right into his face, trying to create contact, and he certainly does it.
So once again, Rick Mahorn at the free throw line. Rick in his 11th year out of Hampton Institute. Spent 5 years with the Washington Bullets, a 2nd-round pick back in '80. 4 with Detroit. This is 2nd with the Sixers. He was acquired from the Minnesota Timberwolves for a 1st-round draft pick and a couple of 2nd-rounders after he refused to report to Minnesota. Gilliam, getting it off after the double team seemed to have him bottled up.
You talk about splitting the double teams, splitting the traps when you're trying to teach your guys how to attack pressure. He not only split it, but he scores off it.
9-point Chicago lead. Again, Jordan being played by Anderson with some help, and a pushing foul on Anderson. That is his 2nd.
In the double team, he steps through, gets it blocked, gets doubled again, steps through again, but I'll use my left hand this time and show him I can get it up there.
And the reaction from Jim Lynam. Oliver against the backpedaling Hodges, and then beat Paxson, but the block by Levingston, and a foul call. It's on Cliff Levingston.
Livingston with the good shot block and comes right back again and tries to get the swipe on the way up. Just Kersey felt he got a little too much hand.
Gilliam is an 82% free throw shooter. He's averaging just under 17 per game. Here's Scottie Pippen back. Craig Hodges will sit down. Scottie Pippen still unhappy about the fact that the Bulls have not settled his contract, while at the same time, in his view, they continue to romance European star Tony Kukoc, who Pippen feels is an unproven talent. And several of Scottie's teammates feel the same way. Jordan. Michael Jordan with 10 points.
Yeah, there's no question they are still involved with Kukoc as Andre Turner drives to the basket for the score. And they're trying to sign Kukoc first and then see how much money they have left to work with Pippen. Pippen obviously wants his done first because there is no guarantee that Tony Kukoc is going to wind up playing here. Benetton from Italy has made a real strong offer, and they feel they're going to get him to sign and play in Italy.
Now Oliver will sit down. Hawkins is back. Percy Hawkins, a native of Chicago, one of 3 on the Sixers. Ron Anderson is from this area, as is Ricky Green. Jordan, yes, 12 for Jordan, and the Bulls lead by 10. Philadelphia 76ers without the injured Charles Barkley, sitting out with the knee problem. Hawkins from deep. Gilliam on the rebound. Good play by Armin Gilliam.
And Cliff Livingston knew that he missed his block-out assignment that time. Turned, looked up in the air. Gilliam went around him, gets the offensive rebound and the score.
76ers say that they are hoping that Barkley will return next Sunday in preparation for the playoffs. Livingston was stripped. Good run here by the Sixers. They're down by 8. 2.5 to go in the first half. Anderson, yes. Ron Anderson with 8 points. And he's cut it to 6.
Ron Anderson said, I'm much better when I can catch and shoot and I don't have to think about it. That's exactly what happened that time. He doesn't like to hold face up and have to create on his own.
Although the 76ers feel that he could be a threat from three-point land. They say wait till next year on that count. The Bulls with a 45-39 lead on the Philadelphia 76ers. We're down to 2:21 left in this first half. A 13-4 run by the Sixers. At one point, Chicago led by as many as 15. Stacey King is back. He's up front with Scottie Pippen and Will Perdue. Michael Jordan in the backcourt, along with John Paxson. Bulls swinging it, can't find the shot. Here's Perdue, and rebounded by Mahorn.
You'd like to say that it's the Sixers offense that's gotten them back into the game by going to the motion, but actually it's been the defensive pressure, stops, and then coming down and scoring in transition.
Pippen hit the deck, and a holding foul called on King. So once again, the 76ers to the line. Armin Gilliam, 1 for 2 from the foul line. He's been shooting well recently. Last 3 games, 54%. Jim Lynam was telling us last night he'd like Gilliam to assert himself more. A diplomatic way of saying he'd like to see Armin use the body a little bit more forcefully. Bang.
Become more of a physical presence on the floor, because let's face it, as far as asserting yourself basketball-wise, it's tough for Barkley to assert himself, Hersey to assert himself, and Gilliam. Somebody's got no role out there.
All right, Pippen able to penetrate. 10 points for Scottie Pippen. Bulls lead 47-41. Anderson, yes. So he's hit 2 in a row. Ron Anderson, a most unusual player in that he says he prefers coming off the bench. How many times have you heard that? Most people would prefer to start. He's in the starting lineup because of the absence of Barkley, but he knows himself. He says he's more effective as on the miscommunication. The Bulls turn it over. He feels he's better off coming off the bench.
He's a rhythm shooter. Catch, shoot. That's his style of play. That's what he likes best. So when they push the ball back, and the loss of Johnny Dawkins has really hurt him in that respect this season, they don't get that come back at you quick score as much as they used to.
And because he is a rhythm shooter, here's Gilliam, and the 76ers have cut it down to 2. Anderson feels because he is such a rhythm-geared shooter, He's not comfortable shooting the three-pointer because he has to look down for the spot. And he'd rather just catch and shoot. Anderson leading the break. 3-on-1. Here's Turner. And the game is tied at 47. Crowd looking for an offensive foul. 50 seconds remaining in the half.
Jimmy Lynam reminded Anderson, don't foul now right before the half. You got 2 already.
Stacey King. And he was held. Gilliam picking up his second. Here's Manute Bol making his return.
Paxson trying to step in for the charge, but the officials felt he was too close to the rim. No call, probably the best call in that situation.
Stacey King will shoot a pair. Game is tied at 47. The Sixers have come back from a 15-point deficit. King is a 71% free throw shooter. Jason Williams replacing Armin Gilliam. Jason Williams, a rookie from St. John's, first-round draft pick of Phoenix, got involved in a contract dispute with the Suns. They traded him to Philadelphia for a #1 draft pick.
Overall, the Chicago Bulls, not a real good free throw shooting team, slightly under 76% overall.
Again, the pressure bothering the Sixers. Just did get it over the 10-second line. Half minute to go, first half, 10 on the shot clock. Sixers down by 1, 5 on the 24. Andre Turner takes it at John Paxson. That was not what he had in mind.
No, I'm sure Jim Lynam would have liked a much better shot, but the clock was running down. At least he got it up there, gave him a chance for a second attempt if they could come up with the ball.
And now the Bulls will hold for a final shot.
What they've done now, they're putting Pippen in the middle of the floor, let him create against Jason Williams.
Goes for 3. Here's King. 76ers will take this score. The Bulls by 1 after leading by as many as 15. So a solid second quarter comeback by Philadelphia. At the half, Chicago 48, Philadelphia 47.
Stand by for Motorsport in Go at 8.
Number 12, champion Molina defending his IBF title. Strong performance by Tony Lopez. There were some who felt that he might be shot.
Off this performance, I would advise him forget about retiring. He's got a lot of good fights coming up.